So the Australian Formula Grand Prix pretty much went as predicted, I think, with the both Mercedes coming in first and second. Who saw that coming? Interestingly, to see the Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel came a pretty good third, albeit 35 seconds behind the Mercedes, which, let's face it, weren't really trying to race the rest of the grid. What caught my eye was how well the rookies did in the first race of the season, specifically Felipe Nasr and Carlos Sainz Jr., the son of the rally driver. Of the new boys in the car, Felipe Nasr was probably the most impressive, coming in 5th in his first ever Formula 1 race, which is pretty good, and apparently the best Formula 1 debut for a Brazilian driver. Jenson Button managed to drag the car up to 11th place. He was last, but lapped a couple of times, but he did a lot better than his teammate, who didn't manage to start the race. The Honda engine blew up as it took the car out to the grid. Interestingly enough, I think Jenson Button managed more laps in this one race than he'd done through testing throughout the whole of winter. Button does believe that by the end of the season they should be in a position to win races, so fingers crossed for him. So what can we look forward to at the Malaysian Grand Prix? First and second aside, or rather Mercedes cars aside, I reckon it's going to be a fairly straightforward fight between the Ferraris and the Williams. And beyond that, I think it's going to be, well, whoever manages to finish the race without mechanical issue. I also think the rookies, excuse me, I also think the rookies, Carlos Sainz Jr., Max Verstappen and Felipe Nasr should score points in Malaysia, assuming they don't have any engine issues or car issues. Hopefully those things will be sorted out for the race, but you never know. Maybe even the McLaren will make some points. Well, anything could happen. After all, F1 is if backwards. Oh, and Maldonado crash, so